Hey everyone, it's Cody Grant here with McCarthy. Welcome back to our Plaza entry update. Today is March 16th, 2023, about midway through the work week with some great updates to give in all our different areas out there. Lots of stuff continuing on throughout the rest of the week, as well as some weekend work. So we'll go ahead and jump over to our first area here, the canopy area, and take a look at what we got going on. So at the canopy area, our main focus remains on that major activity of all that steel installation. So earlier this week, they were working on just finishing up some connections there, installing some bolts, doing some welding. So now their main focus is installing that steel deck that goes on top of all those beams that they have set. So they'll be working on that throughout the rest of this week, and we'll also be working out there in that area on that steel deck into the weekend just to keep us moving forward on that activity. Our teams also have been just wrapping up forming the last of those columns over in the mock-up yard. They pretty much have them all put together, and they'll be ready to go and put on those columns once we wrap up the steel, so we can enclose those columns in concrete. But those are the major activities going out there in the vestibule area. Another Saturday activity to be on the lookout for out there in the vestibule area is we will have some concrete curb cutting where we took that glass out. I'd have to take a small portion of the existing curtain wall out. There's a concrete curb there that our teams are going to be cutting out. A little bit of noise associated with that, just again because it's the use of equipment to cut that out, but that will be relegated to Saturday for that reason. And jumping over to a quick update photo there, you can just see there's the portion of that steel and looking great out there. Again, that vestibule really starting to take shape, but you can kind of see there's all those different connections in there. So all those bolts are secured in there. There's actually welds at the majority of spots there. All the little pieces of steel are set. So looking really great out there. And again, they're just going to start putting that steel deck on top of that and securing it. But some great progress out there in the home of the vestibule as that continues to move forward. And over in the garage, our teams there continue to work on the demolition of that G2 slab. That's coming along great. A quick update photo there. They got all those loose pieces of concrete hauled out. So their next big target there will be saw cutting those beams, but just wrapping up the last demolition and opening up of that final floor of the garage. Some great progress there by that team. I'll just be continuing to work on wrapping that up throughout the rest of this week and a little bit into the next. And over in the interior area of the East-West Pavilion, we have started demolition of the existing ceiling in there. So turning up sprinkler heads, making them safe, and taking all that grid ceiling out in that area. And it definitely looks a little different up there now that demolition has begun. We got our temporary plastic barrier down there, and so here's our temporary construction wall up there, all based and painted, looking great up there. So I'm sure you've noticed it looks a little bit different up there, but again, that's just temporary as we work on the renovations of that side of the lobby at the East-West Pavilion. And a quick update photo to show what's going on the inside. Like I said, there was the former gift shop, so now all the ceiling grid is down, and they're working on just getting everything out of there so we can open that area up and then begin the construction of the new renovated portion of that. So some very exciting stuff going on there, and we'll be very excited to continue to share some update photos from there as that work continues on throughout the rest of this week and into the next. And that is everything that we have going on site currently. As I said, just a couple of activities going on over the weekend, both relegated to that canopy area. Working on some steel deck out there, as well as cutting some concrete curb that has a little bit of noise associated with it, but we'll be monitoring it just to make sure it stays within those acceptable levels. But again, that is it. So as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you for your continued support and cooperation as we work to build this awesome project, and we will see you in the next update. Thank you so much.